Good evening, everybody, and welcome. Yes, it is Mr. Boom Boom Kaboom. Noof Nukem is in the room. Welcome, yes, to our brand new podcast announcement. This isn't an essential podcast. It's certainly not going to be 2.5 or 3 hours long, but I wanted to get a few things out of the way. And before we get into all the details, I want to introduce at least one of my two co-panel members. You may have seen them on Gaming Beyond the Box and various other podcasts or around the Twitterverse, as they call it. And I want to welcome, for the first time ever with me, my co-panel member, also a fellow Canadian, Panelist Giant. Did I pronounce that right?
You did perfectly. Thanks for the invite. Great to be here. And once we get rolling, I think this is going to be a good time, man.
Yeah, we come back. When we come back in a couple of weeks, probably, or whenever we kind of get ready, we got a few details to work out. We will sort of get into. Probably our first show will be a lot of an introduction, and we'll save all the finer details for later. But just to kind of feel this out tonight and say hello to everybody and let people know what's going down. So if you haven't guessed already by the graphic that was in the waiting area and by the attire that I have at least on my body, yes, the background will change for this particular podcast, but this one is going to be PlayStation centric. Okay, so that it be just like more or less a mirror image of Good Morning Xbox with a few or less panel members. I'm going to try to stick to 3 panel members. That leaves us room for guests or perhaps the addition of another panel member in the future, but only time will tell. Let's catch up with the chat and say hello to everybody that's here. If we got any new people in the chat, people who are new to my channel or first time obviously being here, put that in the chat. I would love to hear that. Let's give a shout out to Metal Gear Squall. We got Timothy Dixon, a good fellow supporter. What's going on? Our good brother Joe Dunmore. He is here. What's going on, Joe? Good to see you. We've also got the life of Limitless Jess. What is happening? Good to see you as well. Nix, how you doing? And I think we've caught up with just about everybody. So thank you for being here. I won't keep everybody too long tonight. I'm sure 98% of you guys want to get back to playing and getting destroyed at Elden Ring. Have at her. Tip Top Dalton, what's going on? Prophet, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Here I am. So let me just get a couple things out of the way. So obviously, I guess I should introduce our third panel member who couldn't be with us tonight. I'm not 100% sure why, but he's not here. And he might be a little bit more renowned throughout the podcast community. And you guys will know him as the PlayStation Bra. That's right, the PlayStation Bra. He's a great guy who lives and breathes PlayStation. So, you know, Peniac Giant and PlayStation Bra are probably bigger PlayStation fans than I am for sure. But, you know, if anybody's watched my podcasts over the years, they certainly know that I have owned and played just about every PlayStation product on the planet. I love PlayStation as well. They've got a lot of fantastic games and more to come. A few fantastic games just releasing in the last couple of weeks, including Horizon Forbidden West, which that's what I'm playing right now. And Gran Turismo 7 just came out today, and I see people showing up with that. So what have you been playing, Peniac Giant? And I love the headset. I'm assuming that is the PlayStation Pulse.
It certainly is. Certainly is.
How is that anyway? I've heard good things about it.
I like it a lot. It's a bit of the previous set I used to use for gaming were these Sens. They're open back. These are closed with noise canceling, so it's a little more immersive, I would say. And they're specifically built for PS5 games, so that's a bonus. I don't have to worry about too much tweaking or anything like that. Mm-hmm. They're great. I just wrapped up playing Forbidden West a bit. It's a bit of a slow. I'm going a little slowly here. I might have 8 hours, I think, so far.
You're still in the Daunt, I take it then.
I just
or did you cruise through and already head out to the Forbidden West? Did you just was you that just posted the picture of your first tall neck?
First tall neck, yeah.
So you must, yeah. Well, you've done something that I'm not, because I haven't seen a tall neck yet. I'm still in the fucking desert area.
Yeah,
I'm doing all the side missions and shit.
Yeah, I'm doing those too, but yeah, I'm also playing on like story mode, so the combat's super easy, which is fine.
Oh, you're playing this? Oh, okay. I'm playing on the normal, which I normally do.
I'll save difficult stuff for Elden Ring, and I ended up getting the platinum for Sifu on Sunday, so wrap that up. I was super excited to get that platinum because I didn't think I was going to do it, right?
I
But
heard that game is quite tough. Is that correct?
it's challenging. It
Mhm.
is. If you go in thinking you're just going to mash some buttons and whoop ass, sorry, dude. You're going to die real quick.
I mean, I like beat 'em ups and stuff, but like I said, I don't like smashing controllers. And I've heard it is quite tough. It was not quite the game that I expected to be when I saw the previews. So I was just like, yeah, I think I'll pass. Just not enough about that game that makes me, something I would probably try, but definitely not at full price or what have you. So, yeah. So bring it up on the screen here, guys, so you can follow. You can follow our third guest, like I said, who's not here. He may potentially drop in. He has the link, so I will bring up the screen at least so you can give him a follow and all that sort of stuff here. Just bear with me here.
And I might do Elden Ring a little later down the line once I'm done with Horizon, which is going to take a long time. But because, I mean, we're talking what? That's like 50 hours if you kind of like rush it.
Yeah, Elden Ring, yeah.
So,
yeah, a lot of people are already like, I'm hearing they're like 60 hours, even more. Like they're just kind of going around and farming the XP and then going back and beating bosses and stuff like that. It's just
I've
like
seen
I said,
people show their platinum trophies from Elden Ring. I'm just like, dang.
Platinum already? Hot damn.
Yeah, like, holy smokes.
Does anybody sleep? Do you sleep? The game just came out. Come on, it even came out a week after Horizon Forbidden West, for crying out loud. What the heck? I don't know, man. I don't know where people find the time or the what do you call it? They're probably more so the attention span or the patience. Like, so you got to have a lot of patience and stuff for those games, I think. I mean, obviously this one does look like a lot of fun. I think the open world is the part that has me intrigued the most because you do have more chance to backtrack or find areas that are a bit more your speed and then come back for a challenging fight, that sort of stuff. So
yeah, and you have the ability to just get on your mount and get the fuck out if things are getting a little too hairy, unlike the other ones where it's just kind of, I don't want to say linear, but they're pretty linear from what I understand. So if you can't get by a boss, you're pretty much screwed the entire time. But this one allows you to the freedom to like kind of go.
Yeah, it doesn't force you down a narrow path and say, well, you got to beat this boss at all costs or you do not move on. But that's when you have a little more freedom. And I think that's what they were talking about when they meant accessibility was they were just offering more variety in how you challenge the game. And for some people that's working out really good, it seems like, because I've got a lot of people on Twitter I saw like they say that this is their first sort of Souls game and they're not really into that stuff and they're really enjoying it. So, it kind of gives me a little bit of a, okay, maybe this is something I should at least try and then figure out if it is. But hopefully I don't destroy a controller in the meantime.
Yeah, and then Gran Turismo 7 came out today, and as good as it looks, it's just not a sim racer, man. I just can't do it.
Me either. I just find like it's after playing Forza Horizon, I find every other racer now just doesn't hold a candle, to be honest with you. And that's almost any other racer, not just Gran Turismo. Like I just love that premise of Forza and the style and the graphics, and it blends a little bit of sim with a little bit of arcade, and just love that stuff all together. I find it's hard to go back. I don't know.
Yep.
All right. So I guess I should probably get to the name of the podcast, which honestly, I don't know, man. And I got to get your take on it too. I know we talked about it in the DMs. I was trying to come up for a name. I know there's been a couple that we did. I did a survey over the course of nearly 4 days, and some of our choices were PlayStation Playground, Primetime Gaming, PlayStation Primetime. Now, looking it up, it looks like there's already a PlayStation Primetime podcast, so probably wouldn't be wise to go with that name regardless if somebody else has it. There was none for PlayStation Playground. Now, mind you, my take with the Playground, the reason I kind of went with that was because if you guys remember, there used to be a PlayStation Underground thing. Remember back in the day? And it used to come with the discs. So I thought PlayStation Playground was kind of cool. Plus, it insinuates that, people hanging out, having fun. That's kind of why I thought about that. So how do people in the chat, how do you guys feel about PlayStation Playground? Does the name stick with anybody in the chat? Let me know. What about you, Peniak? I mean, I guess at the end of the day, the name is irrelevant as long as the podcast is decent, right?
Yep. No, I like Playground. It sounds pretty good. Like you said. It kind of implies people having fun, having a good time, and I think that's what we're gonna do here. So.
Yeah, I just don't want people kind of coming in and being like, PlayStation Playground sounds like a bunch of adolescent 12-year-olds getting ready to argue and lay it down here. You know what I mean? So I'll just say the title is tentative. If I can think of something better, for sure, perhaps we will change it. I want it to be something captivating. And obviously we haven't done the graphics yet, which I'll be approaching Mr. Graphic God here very soon. Jay, if you're listening at all, I'll be reaching out to you to hopefully we can work out something with that. The other one was the PlayStation Uncharted podcast. I thought that was kind of cool because, you're doing a podcast each week, sort of uncharted waters, so to speak, with different topics. So that was kind of cool. So I like that one myself, Timothy Dixon. I don't think everybody quite understood what I was going for when I picked PlayStation Uncharted. People probably think, well, we're going to talk about Uncharted every week.
just the movie, though.
Yeah, just the movie. We'll just talk about the movie. Have you seen the movie?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
No, me either.
I'm still waiting to figure out a way to use that free ticket that I got with the upgrade to the Legacy of Thieves collection.
Gotcha.
Which is actually a $30 value, so that's
I didn't know that. That's cool.
So we're gonna, my wife and I are gonna try and go because it looks fun. I mean, I don't expect it to be amazing, but it looks like a good treasure hunt movie. So we'll go check it out. I think
I've heard pretty good things. I've heard it's better than most people expected it to be. Like it's a competent movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to spend my money right now and go see the Batman, which I'm hearing is amazing.
Yeah, I got there last night. It's awesome.
Awesome movie. That's good. Good to know. Awesome. What is that, a Batman shirt or something you got on there? Because I can't tell.
Yeah, here, let me.
It's okay, cool. I couldn't tell because it was so dark. It just kind of looks like a dark hoodie from where I'm sitting. And guys, like I said, me and Penny sort of had this conversation before we went live to the air, and this is going to be uncharted waters, literally for me, because I'm doing something totally different. You've all heard me talk about PlayStation, both good and the bad side, over the years on various podcasts. And I assure you, and I can give you my word, that I'm not going to start turning into a PlayStation pony, and I'm going to sell my soul, and I'm going to, not be the Noof Nukem you guys have come to know and love. Xbox is my home. It is my main platform, and it always will be unless, something changes. But I love PlayStation as well. I'm a gamer. I'm a gamer at heart, and I have all the platforms, and I like to play games. I like to play great games, and PlayStation offers a variety of software that, well, for the lack of a better term, I can't really find on Xbox, or I can't find some of the comparable things. Like I said, they make great narrative-based games that are well done from start to finish, as a testament by Horizon Forbidden West, which I'm playing right now. So I wanted to do this PlayStation podcast, and I wanted to bring in some guys that spend a bit more time on the platform, perhaps, than they do on other platforms, that have a little bit of knowledge or can correct me if I'm wrong on something. That's why I got Peniak, and hopefully PlayStation Bra will join us as well. So that's kind of the mission as to how our podcast unfolds. I mean, we want to talk about the new games. We want to talk about what we're playing, new tech announcements and stuff like that. And again, keep it PlayStation centric. We want to be honest, and we want to be honest to the viewer, which means, calling out crap when we see it. Right now, there's a lot of controversy over the microtransactions in Grand Theft Auto 7. I personally think they're atrocious. Yes, can you earn the stuff without paying for it? I get it. You can. But it sounds like it's going to be a long haul. I mean, you've gone from a $5 microtransaction in the previous game of GT Sport that's now essentially like whatever they call it in the GT points. It basically works out to being $40. That is nuts. I don't even know how long you got to play to get that crap. That's crazy. What's going on? I see my nephew Justin Parsons in the chat. That's right. It's my nephew. What's going on, brother? Good to see you here. But I mean, I'm glad that Gran Turismo 7 is out. It looks like the game that Gran Turismo Sport aspired to be, but didn't. Hopefully people are enjoying it. But like Peniak said, I'm not a huge sim racer guy. I prefer Drive Club back in the day. I don't know if you ever tried that one, Peniak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for briefly, because I'm not like racers in general are for me, which is kind of surprising that I spent 30 hours in Forza Horizon 5. But
did I say Grand Theft Auto? I
Yeah,
might have. Gran Turismo, Grand Theft Auto, they kind of start to sound the same. They're both, yeah.
the thing that I understand the most, because I haven't looked into it because I'm not getting in the game, so I'm not, I'm not caring that much. But I think the whole it used to be $5 for this car, but now it's $40 is because they're only allowing you to buy a specific increment of in-game credits.
Right.
So I can't buy 50,000 credits. I have to buy 3 million credits.
Okay.
And I mean, it's all earnable in game, blah blah blah. But it's just, yeah. I mean,
they're not the only offender, though.
Well, nobody is really. I mean,
there's been a lot of offenders that take this microtransaction. A lot of the free-to-play games are doing it. You give them, I guess you give them a bit more slack because their games are free to play, whereas Gran Turismo is going to cost us what, $90 Canadian plus the tax. I think Mag said he just paid it's like $105 here or something. So you got to keep that stuff in check. After a while, it just gets a bit absurd. I'd like to buy some cars. A lot of times I don't have the play time to certainly earn them, even though it's cool that you can, but for those of, like I said, for those of us guys who don't have 50 hours to put into earning, say, a said car, it's nice to be able to buy something and still know that you can get it at a reasonably, what we call a real money world amount.
Yeah. And I've seen some people who are I've played Gran Turismo for every single game, and the fact of the matter is you're not just handed credits in that game. You got to earn them. So I'm like, I don't really see a lot of complaints from those guys who have played it and are used to it and all this stuff. So I don't want to say fake outrage because that's a big thing, but I mean, maybe it is. Again, I don't know. I don't play it. So.
Well, like I said, Peniac, at the end of the day, it comes down to one thing. It's called smart consumerism.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, so speak with your wallet, and if enough people do that stuff, that shit sort of goes away. It takes care of itself. You don't even have to gripe about it. You don't have to sit here and make 50 podcasts about it. Just speak with your wallet. That shit goes away. They're gonna be like, man, that went back. But play the game. I'm pretty sure there's enough cars and enough tracks and enough stuff to go out and enjoy the game, regardless of all the rest of it. So, and unless I played it, like I said, I'm not the kind of guy who's gonna sit here and blow smoke up your ass on games I haven't even played. I don't think that's fair to myself, to the viewer, and certainly to the developer who works hard on these games. So I'm only going to talk about stuff I played or can give you an impression, perhaps not a review. That's how it's going to be, and that's the way I go, and I think that's fair.
Definitely.
And no, this podcast, that's another thing. That's a great thing, guys. The podcast, I'm glad you brought it up, Iceman, in the chat, because this is not going to be the night of the podcast. Tentatively, and I do say that tentatively right now, we are looking at Monday evenings. What did I say it was going to be, Peniac? Around 8:30 at night, wasn't it? 9 Eastern? Yeah. 9 Eastern or 9:30 Eastern, wasn't it? 9:30?
I think it was 9. Yeah, either way.
9:30 Eastern, something like that. So basically it'll sort of be at the tailwind of podcasts before it, and hopefully we can try to avoid the glut. And I had this conversation last night with Mike Mullis too, of original Next Level Gaming podcast. Shout out to those guys and Mike. We were talking about that last night, and he's got a few things on the go as well. And he was saying it is nearly impossible to find a decent time and a day to run a podcast without sort of overlapping perhaps someone that you respect or enjoy. And I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. I mean, when I got into this racket back in 2014 and I started, appearing on podcasts, there was literally about 3 major ones a week that I knew of. Now in my circle, and I'm just saying this is my circle because there's way more podcasts than I even know about. But in my circle of friends and the people that I follow, everybody's doing a podcast almost every day of the week. And some guys got more than 3 podcasts, right? If they're not podcasting, they're streaming. And if they're not streaming, they're doing vlogs. And if they're not doing that, there's something else. So you tell me when we're supposed to have it, 4:30 in the morning or something?
No.
I don't know, man. So yeah, that's what I say. We Bleed Green, boom, Colt, and me. That's the way it looks like it's probably going to run. And that's good for me, too, because then I can get my podcasts out of the way, basically Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And then the rest of the week, I'm just chilling, doing whatever. So that could change. But, yeah, Thursdays are really stupid right now. That's why I avoided. And Fridays are so terrible night for the most part because most people are out with their kids or their spouses, or they're going to movies. I find Fridays is just a rough spot, to be honest with you. I don't know if you feel the same, Peniac.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, yeah, I wouldn't want to be here every Friday. No offense to, I want to do this, but Friday night's kind of the
wait till the summer
chill
comes.
night, right? It's like I'm chilling out. Like, yeah, when the summer comes, I want to be on my
deck
at the fire table and having some beers out there on Friday night. I'll be sitting in here talking to you.
Absolutely. See, man, no offense taken, because I feel the same way. I want to be, when the summer comes, I want to be out riding my bike in the evenings. I want to get it in while I can. So yeah, I totally understand. Like, Fridays is just, it's a rough night unless you can get it out of the way early. And say hello to everybody in the chat. What's going on? Eternal Shaddai. If you're not aware, Eternal Shaddai is my co-panel member of Good Morning Xbox on Sunday. Dreadpool is in the house. What's going on, Dread? Good to see you. Dude? Yeah, man. There's an awesome guy right there, Dreadpool. And Iceman, what's going on, Ice? Good to see you. Splendiferous is like, what are you doing? And yes, this background will change because I know it's probably fucking people up right now. You're looking at me. I got PlayStation gear on and Xbox shit in the background. Like, what kind of podcast is this? Well, it's just like one of those tranny podcasts. You don't know which game you want to be. But yeah, there you go. The gaming after dark side. That's another thing. Like, this podcast will mostly reflect Good Morning Xbox and the way it's run, as opposed to this won't be like a gaming after dark kind of deal. Sorry guys to disappoint. There might be some humor in here. I'm sure Peniac will definitely drop some laughs and stuff, but I want to keep this mostly approachable for a bigger audience. So I don't want to be segregating a large portion of people because I'm dropping F-bombs and dirty jokes and all that shit every 5 seconds. So if you come into this podcast when it finally gets rolling officially, don't expect it to be another iteration of Gaming After Dark. So like I said, we're still trying to nail down the name. Right now it's tentatively the PlayStation Playground Podcast with co-panel members Peniac Giant and the PlayStation Bra. Give those two guys a follow if you're not already. And like I said, if you just can't swallow the fact that I got PlayStation threads on and this is going to be a PlayStation podcast talking about PlayStation, I'm not talking bad about PlayStation, like, oh my God, I'm an Xbox guy, but PlayStation sucks. Some of you guys probably would love that, but that's not what we're here for. It's not going to be one of those podcasts. So in Peniac, we're just saying that you got Xbox podcasts that do nothing but shit on PlayStation for 2 hours. And then you got PlayStation podcasts that claim their PlayStation shit on Xbox for 2 hours. It's like, I don't get it. All right.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we're going to do an official show eventually. We're going to do one when we got all the panel guys together. We'll go through our back histories. I certainly want to hear from Peniac and PlayStation Bras, why they love the PlayStation brand, what they play, what their favorite games is, a bit of their back history. But we'll leave that for our introductory episode. So we'll keep that. PlayStation Bra is a great guy. Yeah, I haven't seen him around much either, but he kind of reached out to me when I sort of said, I'm looking for people to be on the podcast. And he said, yeah, I'd be interested. So he's a great guy. And I hope that people in the community won't be like, bro, don't do that podcast with that Noof Nukem guy. He's an Xbox dude. He'll ruin your reputation. Like, what the fuck, man? Please don't be one of those guys. I'm not that kind of guy. Like, that's not how I roll. People that know me know that's not how I roll. I am fair as fair can be. I like to think, at least most of the time. And we all have a bit of fun once in a while, right? Like once in a while you have fun. You roast something about the PlayStation, some of the stupidity of stuff there, and vice versa with Xbox, some of the stupidity in there and all that sort of stuff. So both companies are not perfect. They both do some questionable things. But the main thing is right now is they're both pumping out some incredible games. And boy, do we have an amazing ride ahead of us in the next 4 or 5 years, especially as COVID starts to dwindle down. Hopefully the world will come back together because it seems to be falling apart in Europe. Like I said, God bless the people of Ukraine. And hopefully that sorts itself out sooner than later because that's scary over there. But yeah, I appreciate that, Nick. It is good to have a PlayStation podcast. There have been few and far between in my circle. And I know, like I said, shout out to Mr. Badbit and the PlayStation Trophy Room. That's a great podcast. They're doing a great thing over there. And hopefully I'll have him on as a guest at some point as well. And who knows, maybe he'd become a panel member if he's open to it. But there you go. Yes, there's difference between having fanboy jokes, but at the end of the day, people end up having two consoles and have fun. Exactly. That's just it. We all joke around, have fun, but there are some people that take this shit way too serious and way too far. Correct, Paniac?
That is correct. I mean, yeah, I don't get it. I don't. And I'll be the first one to say that every time I see one of those memes where it's either Jim Ryan or Phil Spencer has the Pinocchio nose on them and they're doing something stupid, I giggle my ass off at those. but the man, like the harassing the devs and just getting into Twitter fights with Digital Foundry.
Yeah.
It's just like, what are you guys doing? Like, why?
Yeah, like there's people right now that are more upset that Stalker 2 is potentially delayed indefinitely, and they're kind of acting like it's the end of the world. I'm like, dude, do you realize the developer is in the middle of a war zone right now? Like, there's bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, like, come on. You're going to have tons of shit to play. Like, and, yeah. And if you haven't played Guardians of the Galaxy and you have Game Pass, play that goddamn game, people. It's good.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we're going to go over all that stuff in a while. Like, we're going to talk about, PlayStation Now and its evolution and all those good things. So, like I said, that is pretty much it for now. Like, I got a lot of work to do. We are committed to this, and we'll get started shortly. Like I said, I'm sort of tentatively aiming for probably the start of next month, but I need to get some graphics and stuff in place. Again, I got to make sure that PlayStation Bra is going to be able to join us. Because if not, I want to find at least a third panel member. If he's not going to be consistent, he can come on as a guest. I this was an impromptu thing tonight. Like, Peniac only found out about this. Like, when did I ask you? Like, was it this morning?
To come on tonight? Yeah, it was like mid-morning.
Yeah, I sent him a message this morning saying I'm going to come on tonight and make it official because I figured it was better to do it on here than just kind of over Twitter. Like, hey, it's me, Peniac Giant, and PlayStation Bra. This is our podcast. But, come on and talk to people, right? So, yeah, Elden Ring is like the Canadians' NHL team. The game is hard to beat and gives up. Not quite sure what you meant there, but hey.
Hey, if you want to slander the Habs in here, go for it. I'm all for that.
I was going to say, it's maybe, the Elden Ring is kind of like the Edmonton Oilers. It's it's nice to look at, but you're going to get brutalized a lot. Yes, because the Oilers, that happens to be Paniac's favorite team, which is why I also say, this is really cool. He's Canadian. He actually goes for the Oilers, so we have something in common. You like PlayStation? Yeah, I think this is going to work.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
What's going on, Jago Kukin, brother? How are you doing? Good to see everybody here. Just curious, of those who are in the chat right now, is there anybody in the chat whose primary console is PlayStation? It's where you go to first. I think the majority of you guys have been following me from my other podcasts. You're probably Xbox first. But anyone in the chat, if your primary console is PlayStation, let me know. In the chat, I would love to hear from you because, again, we want to represent the community. We want to do right by you guys. I don't want to be on here spewing BS and stuff like that. And I want to be a respectable podcast kind of thing, right? I know you're an Xbox guy, stick figure. What's going on, man? When does this turn into complain about hockey podcasts? Well, we're Canadian. That could be any time at all, Justin. And besides, Oilers give us lots to complain about all the time. It's like, yeah, how do you start a season when you're like 15 and what was it, like 4? And then all of a sudden you're just like almost out of the playoffs? Like, what the heck?
Don't worry. We might have another chance to complain tomorrow when they play Montreal.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, they always seem to suck balls when they play the Habs and the Leafs. I don't know what it is. Yeah. Iceman, Xbox all the way, but I have a PS. Yeah, and like I said, a lot of the guys are in the chat here, and I don't know how many of these guys are familiar with Peniac, but a lot of them do have PlayStations. Like, I've got a lot of these guys on my PS5 friends list. And they're playing PlayStation. Some guys a lot, some guys a little bit here and there. I would say, if I had to break down, and you do have an Xbox as well, don't you, Peniac?
Yep, I have a Series X.
Yeah. So how would you rate your time played one versus the other? You more of a single player narrative kind of a guy?
Usually, yeah. I would say that I'm probably like 80-20. Um, last year, a lot of my time on Xbox was spent. I played the show a lot because it was weird. In 2020, the show 19, which they gave away on PS Plus that year, in like March or something, that was my most played game that year. So when it came out last year, it's like, hey, it's an Xbox. It's in Game Pass for free. I was like, well, shit, I'll give this a go if I'm not playing anything else. And I played that for quite a while.
Yeah.
You know, multiple seasons worth of Road to the Show. I don't know how many hours that works out to be, but and then played Forza Horizon for like 30 hours, pretty much for one brick of time.
Yeah.
And gave Halo a bit of a go, and like Halo was never, it's not something that I like grew up with, and like I never had an OG Xbox, so I haven't played 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
Got into 3 and liked that a lot, and that's the reason why I bought a 360. But like Master Chief, he obviously is incredibly iconic in the video game character world, but he doesn't have that pull that he does with a lot of other guys that I've seen in the community who have, like, you know, they lined up at midnight to get their OG Xbox and played Halo for 4 days straight, shit like that. But so I played the multiplayer for a bit when it came free, and I played the campaign for, I don't know, 2 hours, and just, I don't know, it's not for me. Sorry.
Yeah, like I'm pretty much a 70-30, probably between Xbox and PlayStation, but that fluctuates. It really depends on the games, right? Like right now, I basically haven't turned my Xbox hardly on in 3 or 4 days. I've been playing Horizon Forbidden West since my PlayStation 5 showed up, and that's probably all I'm going to play most of this weekend. I refuse to get, well, I shouldn't say I refuse, but I put that question.
Trying to not buy Elden Ring.
Yeah, that's right. I'm trying not to buy Elden Ring. I put that question out this morning on Twitter. It's funny. I didn't even hashtag the damn thing. And I've already had, I think, close in at 80-something replies. And I think it's like nearly 200 likes or something like that. Like, what the heck? All I asked is I said, I'm going to have to buy this Elden Ring game, aren't I? And I'll... And everybody's just replying as like crazy and like, okay. And a lot of people obviously telling me yes, but I think those who know me best are like new. Probably if I was you, I'd hold out on that one. Yeah. Jago Kukin's like me in the chat. Me and him are not huge fans of those franchises.
Yeah, me neither. I played Demon Souls back in like 2012 on PS3, and I think I beat like 3 bosses, and then I got to the point where I felt like I needed to have a guide open the entire time, like on a laptop beside me while I was playing, so I didn't miss something or get, you know, ambushed by something. I'm just like, fuck this. So I quit and haven't gone back to them yet.
Yeah. Hate to tell you, Peniac, if you've been following me at all, you probably heard of something called Newfonomics, and I think there's already a running bet going on in the chat as to how long I keep this PlayStation 5. Since I sold my last PS5 last summer, and now I finally got another one after moaning and groaning about it for months, trying to get one of these fuckers. Finally snagged one at Walmart.ca, largely because of a good guy by the name of D-Batch. You guys might have heard of him. He dropped a link that told me when they were going live on sale. Had to be like some kind of like on a Thursday night at 11 p.m. Canadian or Mountain Time, so I was able to jump in on the ground from.
They dropped stock at like midnight my time. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's a crazy time. Yeah, it was just under midnight or something that came out here, and I was able to get in right away. 20 minutes later, get that message from Walmart. Our stock is now depleted. Thank you for trying. Thanks to those who secured one, and the rest try later. You know what I mean? So, no, you've traded your PS5 for Elden Ring at GameStop. Yeah, well, that's probably all they give me for one game, probably for the console. Fuckers, I'd like to rip you off pretty bad. Axel's 1324 in the chat. What's going on, Axel? Good to see you here, brother. And sorry, I didn't mean to jump in over your podcast tonight at all. This is not a set time for this podcast. We're going to be doing this in the future, hopefully on Monday nights. So, yeah, but it's good to see you here. And no, I won't be trading it or selling it this time, guys. It's here to stay. Damn things are too hard to get, so I'm not going through that rigmarole. I don't know what's harder, Elden Ring or trying to find a PlayStation 5. So, yeah, we got Axel 1324 Gaming. He drops $2 and says trade you the super chat for the PS5. Nice try, Axel, but I'm not quite that dumb. Sorry. In time, who knows? In time. Hey, $2 is like worth 5 cents now with the way the gas prices and food and everything. It's like $100 bill Canadian is like $20 from back in the 80s. It's a crazy, man. $2 a fucking liter of gas out in BC and in parts of Newfoundland. I don't know what it is where you're at, Peniac.
It jumped up to 168 today.
Jesus. Yeah, and I thought $1.54 here was retarded. Oh my God. Craziness.
Yeah,
What is going on? And in Canada, we're up with third highest oil producing country in the world or something like that. And yet we're still paying to the nose for gas. What's up with that? That's some kind of weird microtransaction shit going on right there. Iceman says Elden Ring can be fun if you find someone to help you in co-op mode. Yeah, like I said, that has potential, man. I'm not ruling it out. I just don't know if I want to drop $90 on it. So we shall see. We shall see. But anyway,
I feel that way with Gran Turismo too, because the one with the steelbook, the 25th anniversary slipcase that's on the steelbook, and it's got the case. That's a sharp package. But I'm like 110 plus tax. Ugh, no.
Okay, so the guys are doing this one in US, right? So Jago's like $3.75 a gallon, but isn't a gallon up here considered 4 liters, isn't it?
I think that's the rough.
So yeah, so so basically if it was translating it to Canadian price, that's $8, just about $8 a gallon Canadian, to give you guys an idea of how much crap is expensive up here. Like it's gonna be cheaper. Like pretty soon you won't even have to pay for a hooker for a blowjob. She'll be just giving you one for a ride down to her local 7-Eleven, you know. So it's crazy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's liters up here. There you go. 3.8 liters in a gallon. So you kind of get the there's my nephew speaking all the facts up in here, Mr. Smarty Pants. So he's putting it straight for you guys down south of us here. 3.8 liters in a gallon, and like I said, it's nearly $2 a liter at some places here in Canada right now. Yeah, if you're gonna come up here, man, you better bring a mule. Better have a donkey in the back for a backup. That's for sure. Then again, don't forget though, your money's worth a lot more than ours. So at least you come up here, you get money back and not take it. If we go the other way, we cross the border, we're really gonna pay. Yeah.
Yep.
$1.90 a liter in Australia. Good luck for you guys. Guess you'll be riding the dingo this year. So,
yes, sir.
And I don't know, Peniac, just give us your thought on doing this podcast and what what you'd like to hopefully accomplish with it, and hopefully what you'd like to see from the chat and stuff like that. Maybe like hopefully the chat's going to help us make this show into something great, like interact, lots of questions, and maybe a question of the week and a user segment, so we kind of get feedback from the audience, and it's not just us talking about the top 2 or 3 topics every week. Eventually, if I can get my tech stuff sorted out, maybe we'll run some retro games or some footage or something, but that will come in time. So
yeah, you just kind of knocked it out. If we get an active chat, that'd be awesome. I know a lot of, like you said, you're primarily kind of traditionally an Xbox kind of based guy, so hopefully we'll get some carryover there from people who just like you for you, and just want to come and see the chat and see a different point of view from the blue side of the fence. And yeah,
I think a lot of people have so far. I mean, looking at this chat already, and it's amazing. I see a lot of familiar faces from the other podcasts that I've done or that I'm doing. So that's amazing. Like Tony Grosso and all these guys, Timothy Dixon. A lot of these guys are staples of the Gaming After Dark podcast. Some come out to watch me, Axel, Eternal Shaddai, and the rest of the crew on Sunday. And yeah, Iceman says it's right there. Gaming is gaming. Why do I got to be classified as anything? Why can't you just classify me as a gamer?
Iceman,
that's what it is.
I saw that Giants hat, dude. That's my team too, unfortunately, right now. But hey, that's where it is.
Does that explain why your logo kind of looks like a Giants font?
Yes, that's exactly why.
Oh, there you go. I learned something new.
There you go.
Now that you said that, now it makes perfect sense. I'm like, because I look at your, your thing, and it's like, yeah, it looks like a New York Giants font.
Mm-hmm.
What's
Is that
Peniac?
it's the spot I live. So yeah.
Oh, that's like the town where you live.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Learned 2 new things today. Go Giants. Yeah, I'm a 49ers man myself. Rough end of the year. Rough end. So close.
Yep.
Oh, well. I always tend to go for teams that always blow it. My Hamilton Tiger Cats lost in the Grey Cup final. Yeah, my 49ers didn't get to go to the Super Bowl by, what was it, a point or whatever the hell it was. Like, oh, my God. Crazy. My Oilers always teasing us with the best players in the world and then shit the bed constantly. So, yeah. I am used to misery. All my sports teams seem to blow it on me right at the last minute. Crazy. Except for my second base favorite team, which, believe it or not, is the Tampa Bay Lightning. Back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, baby. Woo! Yep. And my mother, guess where she lives, Peniac? She lives in New Brunswick.
Oh, cool.
She's been there for a couple of years. They're just coming back from Florida right now, though. They got a summer home down there, so they're coming back here shortly. Yeah, she's in... oh, God. I think she's in, actually... what's the main capital in New Brunswick?
Fredericton's the capital.
Yes, she's in Fredericton. Yes, that's it.
Cool.
Yeah, Fredericton.
Peniac's just outside. It's like, I don't want to say a suburb because that's not true, but it's like just outside the city on a rural point of view. So, yeah.
All righty.
Cool.
So, guys, I won't keep you any longer. It's been nearly an hour, like I said, and this is not our official podcast. This was just an introduction. I just wanted to introduce everybody to Peniac and get that out of the way, as well as the PlayStation Bra. Hopefully, he will be here soon. And when we do our first official one, we will let everybody know. And by then, we should have the name ironed out and perhaps some of the graphics for the show. And we'll take it step by step from there, and we'll see what it turns into. And if it gravitates well and it goes well, hopefully it'll be a staple of your Monday night podcast diet. And if not, well, it's we move on to something else. But either which way, it should be a lot of fun. I'm certainly looking forward to it, and hopefully Peniac is as well.
Sure am.
Talking about all the great PlayStation games coming out. What are you looking forward to next, by the way, now that Horizon's out of the way? What's the next big one for you?
I like the idea of Forspoken, but I kind of feel like the rumor that that's going to get delayed is probably going to come true, because I know the last gameplay video they showed of that is kind of rough, so that might get delayed. And to be honest, like 2022 does not have a lot of release dates locked down. It just doesn't.
No, for nobody.
I mean, God of War is supposed to come out.
I think it will. I think it will.
Yeah, and I mean, there's also rumors of there's going to be a March showcase, so we'll see what happens there. But with that being a rumor, but who knows? I mean, God of War for sure. If that comes out this year, definitely. Yeah,
it's definitely mine. I mean, Ratchet & Clank was huge for me last year. Now I got to go get another copy because I sold that copy too when I got rid of my PlayStation 5, so I got to go get that game again because that's amazing. Right now, I literally have 2 games installed on my PS5, and that is Horizon Forbidden West, and I've got Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. So Kenna's a lot of fun. I didn't play that much of that one, but I'm going to beat Horizon first and come back to that one.
Yeah, I'm going to be busy with Horizon for a long time.
So, Penny, do you think there's a chance that Resistance ever comes back, or perhaps even Killzone, or do you think those franchises are buried?
Resistance is Insomniac, right?
Correct.
God, how big would their studio need to be working on that and Spider-Man and Wolverine?
I've heard they've broken that studio up into almost like 2 or 3 now. So, and they could at least easily bring in the help of somebody else to help build it as well.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't play them, so I mean, I played one of the demos for I don't know if it was 2, and it just felt super clunky. So I didn't get to them at all. I wouldn't mind. I liked Killzone 2 and 3 a lot when they came out. Those multiplayer modes were amazing in my opinion. The campaigns were fine. and everyone's always saying about how PlayStation's lacking a first person shooter. Destiny doesn't count. But no, I would be pretty excited if a new Killzone was announced.
Yeah, well, I'd love to see Killzone come back. I don't think the last one was necessarily bad, but it obviously just, it was a big change for them. It was a big departure from the previous two. Plus, it was a launch title. The one thing it still holds up to today was it looks phenomenal, and even down today, like if you play that right now, it's still one of the best looking games of last generation, and holds up pretty well almost against any shooter currently today. I mean, heck, I'll even go out and say it looks even better than Halo looks, in my opinion. The scope and scale of that game was nuts, but it was not the Halo killer that some people coined it, and that was just an odd campaign. It was just something off about it. I don't know, but it had some really cool, innovative weapons, and Resistance was a really cool premise back in the day, sort of that aliens and that old World War II setting with sort of futuristic weapons. They were definitely doing something right, and it played pretty well, but like I said, it just never gravitated. So
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we need to super chat more so Noof stops hawking his systems. Oh, man. I promise you, I'll keep my damn systems, okay? I'll keep my systems. All right, there you go. My God, $5.60 a gallon in Los Angeles. Holy moly. I guess you're going to be skateboarding to work down there. Holy ton. Crazy stuff. Anyway, I won't keep everybody much longer. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. Got a few things to iron out, but we'll be back, like I said, with our official introduction and official to the podcast. This was just to introduce everybody, to say hello. Hopefully, you guys will spread the word and shout it out. I can't tell you right now, like I said, tentatively, it looks like we'll be doing Monday nights at some point when we get started, and we're looking at around 9:30 Eastern, which would be 7:30 here, Mountain Time, and we look forward to it. It should be good, especially when we get a full panel going. Be good times ahead for this. So I want to thank Peniac for being here with me tonight. And we'll tell you a lot more in the future as we iron out all the kinks. And hopefully I'll be talking to Mr. Graphic God. If he's listening, I definitely got to hook up with you. We got to talk this weekend anyway, I think. So hopefully we'll iron out that as well. And I'll be able to get some more logos and graphics and all that sort of stuff. And look forward to people, if they want to come on as a guest, if you got lots of PlayStation knowledge or a good background on PlayStation stuff, we'll be looking forward to having some guests on the show as well. And Iceman, he drops $4.99 in Super Chat to say, Noof, please, for the love of God, stop trading your PS5. Hey, man, I've only had one PS5 up until now. This is my second, okay? So I still have my one, Series X. That hasn't gone anywhere. I still have my 1X with my Gears 5 edition. I did trade my Scorpio one, however. I actually sold the Scorpio one. I hated doing it, but I used the money to buy the Gears one. So kind of a tit for tat, you know what they say? So, yeah. Time cures all wounds. I just hope I'm alive when it happens. I'm not sure what you're talking about, AP, but we hope that you're well, man. Good to see you in the chat, brother. All right. But anyway, Peniac, at least we always end the show on a typical note. Let people know where they can follow you, my friend, obviously online or on Twitter if they want to give you a follow and all that sort of stuff. Do you have your own YouTube channel or anything like that right now or no?
I do, but it's not what I would exactly call frequently populated. So
okay, maybe
it'll
changes.
just be like if I plan on streaming a clip, I'll like save it and upload it, but it's not like something I do regularly at all. But if you want to find me on Twitter, Peniac Giant's my handle. It's also my PSN name, also my gamer tag on Xbox. Always looking forward to having new friends on the list and new followers on Twitter to interact with. And looking forward to doing the show with Noof and Bra. So I think it's going to be cool.
It's going to be fun. So far, the PlayStation 4, was the system that's taken the brunt of my new phenomics the worst because I've had two regular edition launch title PS4s, the boxy, squarish one. Mm-hmm. Then ended up having a PlayStation Slim, a PlayStation 4 Slim. Then I ended up having a PlayStation 4 Pro, and then I had another Slim, and now I have two PS5s. So add those up. Don't even ask. Don't even ask. It could be here all night. We can start a new podcast about me and my weird new phenomics.
Hey, I had 5 PS4s through its lifetime. So
Jesus, why is that? Just same thing, or you
uh,
just kind of giving out, or
I
what?
got had a launch model.
Hmm.
Then there's a Black Friday deal where I figured I could sell the current one that I had, buy the one
Okay.
on Amazon on Black Friday, and the cost turned out to be I gained like 2 games and paid like $13. So I'm talking like if I find an opportunity to get a cheap hardware upgrade with a brand new warranty, a brand new controller,
Hmm.
etc., I'll take that every time. So $10 for a new everything. I got a Launch Pro with Optimum points, so only paid about half for that out of pocket.
Ah, okay.
Then I did another EB Games trade in with the PS4, where this was the funniest thing. They had a promo going on for the PS4 with Uncharted 4, and
Hmm.
then there was a game. There was a list of 5 games that you could pick from to get also. So I took my PS4, I took my copy of Uncharted 4, and I took my copy of Overwatch up to EB, traded those in, and so the girl's like, "Okay, so you get the console with Uncharted 4. It's like, which game do you want to pick out of all these out of the 5?" I'm like, "Overwatch." She's like, "What?" She's like, "Oh, okay, I know what you did." And my total bill was like $17
Hmm.
to get the exact 2 games that I had, brand new controller, brand new console, brand new warranty. So that was good. And then eventually I did some more trade-ins on another PS on that one to get the Spider-Man Pro that I had. And that was my fifth and final one.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right, glad to know that I'm not the only one. The difference is you were at least thrifty and made sense with yours. That's the difference. Mine were just kind of like, oh, well, I want another system, trade it for something else, get that, get all the games, sell it back in to get the system. It's basically that's how, especially when I was tight on the money, because that's how you do it, right? You bring it into EB games, but you basically get sometimes they're always running those console trade promotions, so you get extra
Yeah.
bump up. It's actually not that bad. Sometimes it's not that far off of if you went to sell it out loose, right? The games are always questionable. Sometimes they'll even bump up those. Plus, I'm an Onyx member, so I get extra credit there.
Mhm.
So yeah, sometimes basically then I could trade in all my stuff. I could get a new console with a few extra games, maybe even some accessories, and pay either nothing or very next to nothing. But
Yep.
then, of course, I'd have that for a couple of months. It was very, very popular with the Switch because you get it for the Switch. You play your couple of games that you wanted to play in the Switch, and then you go, "Oh man, I really miss my PlayStation 4." So then you trade in the Switch and do it all over again. So there you go. I'll do some Pegasus squats for you there, Mag. Don't worry, no phony ponies coming up in here, brother. No, indeed. But I love those videos, man. Good to see you, Mag. Hopefully, I'll be able to get you on this podcast at some point in time as a guest. If you're willing to come on, would love to have you for sure. You're always welcome, my brother. Yes, the Pegasus squats. Those are classic. Have you watched those videos, Peniac, from the Mag?
Oh yeah. Every
Oh
one
my
of them.
God.
The Elden Ring one was awesome too.
Oh, Elden Ring, and
I'm
then he
too
did
old
this
and I drink too
one.
much.
And then he did the Michael Pachter one where he sat down and oh my God, just too fucking funny, man. It's good to see you, Mag. That shit's hilarious, man. We're definitely having a laugh. That's what it's all about, man. Is not taking this shit too seriously. Some PlayStation guys you see that stuff, they go all berserk and you go, I like to laugh at that stuff. Even if you did it about Xbox, I sit here and laugh. I don't take it serious. It's all fun. Some of it's a little almost like it's got some truth in it, but you just got to take it with a grain of salt. It's all comedy, baby. Comedy gold.
It is.
But anyway, that's it for us tonight. You guys know where to find me. I'll be back on Sunday morning with Good Morning Xbox. Then on Tuesday night, Gaming After Dark. We will keep you in the loop on this one, so stay tuned for more. Glad you guys could all come out and join us. I'll let you guys get back to playing your, Elden Ring probably, because it seems like everybody under the sun is playing Elden Ring except for me and Peniac apparently. So you guys go enjoy that. I'm going to get back to Horizon Forbidden West and get as much time in that this weekend as I can because it's back to the grindstone Monday morning. You know how it is. And and game on. Go Oilers. And
All right. Cheers, everybody.
glad to
Thanks for
have you
coming.
here, Peniac.
Likewise.
And we'll see everybody again here soon. Take care. We hope that you enjoyed this little impromptu.
Great. Good night.